Welcome back for the NAU Jazz Festival 2021. We're glad to be with you here tonight. And while this year's festival feels a lot different than usual, we're really glad to be able to present the festival in the variety of formats that we have over the past 3 days. Tonight is the final concert, a culmination of the 3 days event. And I just want to take a minute to thank our generous sponsors, John and Lynn Sheik of Flagstaff, for making this event free for the public, as well as a number of participating school bands who are going to be playing for submitting recordings for feedback and clinic from our guest artist evaluators. So we've had a great few days with our guest artists, with master classes, NAU School of Music faculty master classes. We had an open rehearsal earlier this afternoon. We had a conversation with faculty from the School of Music and the NAU Honors College. I want to thank Blaise Scarnati and Rob Wallace for hosting that event. And thank you all for being here with us tonight. We can also check out the live stream after the fact. We're going to be uploading videos to the YouTube channel for the NAU Jazz Festival, and that's also linked on the Jazz Festival website. So first up tonight is NAU Jazz Ensemble 2, directed by Stephen Dunn, and I'll let him go ahead and kick it off. Thanks for being here.
We're going to start with a tune by Christopher Schmidt. It's called Transformation, and that gives you something to listen to because it starts out one way and it ends another way. And I'll introduce the soloists. There are a number of them. I'll introduce them after we play. One, two, 3, 4. Thank you very much. I'm sure you heard the transformation in that one. Jacob Decker on trumpet. Aiden Gates on tenor saxophone. Melody Wilson on alto saxophone. Tyler Humphrey on jazz trombone back there. And Noah Chesterman on drum set. This next tune is a tune by Fred Sturm. It's called Cerulean Sky, and it features our lead tenor saxophonist, Donovan Sears. So go ahead and take the stage. And we were fortunate in rehearsal that Brice Winston had a chance to step in and coach Donovan and the band a little bit on this one, so thank you for that. Appreciate it. Pleasure playing for you today. After we finish this tune, we're going to take a brief intermission, and then Jazz One will be here with their set and the guest artists.
Welcome back. We're glad to have you here with us here at the NAU Jazz Festival 2021 Guest Artist Concerts. It's been a great 3 days, and although we miss having a lively crowd of hundreds of high school and middle school kids, as well as multiple people from the community, we're glad to have a virtual audience to play for. And we're actually thankful for the opportunity to play in a live setting, albeit for a virtual audience, because those opportunities are far and fewer between these days. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off. 2020 and 2021 so far have been tough years for a number of reasons. In the jazz community, we've lost a number of iconic educators and performers and artists. One of those artists is a great composer and arranger who worked for a long time with the Count Basie Orchestra. Also was the resident arranger, I believe, for the U.S. Air Force Airman of Note for a number of years. So we wanted to feature something of his works to honor the passing of the great Sammy Nestico. And so this is Gershwin's Strike Up the Band, arranged by Sammy Nestico for the Count Basie Orchestra. Sarah Baker on tenor saxophone. So, in planning for this year's festival, obviously being in a different format than usual, I wanted to think about some guest artists that we could make sure we can get here and have a good relationship and a working relationship over the years with the NAU Jazz Festival and the NAU Jazz Studies program. And we've been very thankful and lucky to have a fantastic group of guest artists who happen to all be from Arizona joining us here on stage tonight. My first year joining the faculty at the NAU School of Music, I was tasked with planning the festival for, I think it was 2013. And that year, it was at first a lot of firsts, joining the faculty here, working with the students in the Jazz Studies program, moving back to Arizona. And a logical choice for that year was to feature the great Brice Winston on saxophones, being from Tucson and having a illustrious career internationally with artists like Terrence Blanchard, working with so many artists around the country, and also teaching at a very high level, being one of the founding members of the Tucson Jazz Institute. And joining us here tonight from Tucson, from TJI, and from the U of A, let's have a round of applause for Brice Winston. Also somebody I've been very fortunate to have a working relationship with over the years since being back in Arizona, and somebody who I look up to a lot, both as a musician as well as an educator. Spent a number of years at University of North Carolina, Utah State, and Bowling Green University. Let's hear it for Russell Schmidt on piano. One of my favorite drummers to work with anywhere, and I think one of my favorite musicians to work with anywhere. Also a phenomenal drummer as you hear tonight. The leader of one of the leaders of the Music Serving the Word project, or Music We're Serving the Word organization in the Phoenix area, and somebody who's a first-rate, first-call drummer throughout Arizona and beyond. Let's hear it for Rob Moore on the drums. We're going to start off the guest artist portion of our set with a composition by Russ Schmidt. This is Fortnight with Ferguson. You're going to hear from Ricky Beswick on trumpet, and of course, Brice Winston on soprano saxophone, and Russ Schmidt on piano. And Rob Moore on the drums. Ricky Beswick on trumpet, Brice Winston on saxophone, Russ Schmidt on piano and composition, Rob Moore on the drums. So you might notice there are a few changes on stage for us in the current environment. But I just want to take a minute to thank all the staff in the auditorium here at NAU. Between Kit Recital Hall and RJ Memorial Auditorium, the staff are working extra hard to make sure that everything is safe and that we're able to rehearse and perform in a safe environment where we can stay healthy and take care of social distancing and health safety protocols. So I just want to give a big shout out to James Murray and Amanda Rosas, who have been helping us mostly the last couple days, as well as all the rest of the staff here in the auditorium. And you'll notice we're all having a little bit more of our, one more fashion statement for each of us as far as the mask is concerned. And just want to take a minute to thank all the students for their careful consideration, and our guest artists for that matter, when it comes to adhering to all our social distancing and safety protocols, because it's actually really difficult to be able to play instruments as we would normally while wearing a mask. And so just want to take a minute to thank all of them as well as our guest artists for doing their part to make sure we keep the standards up so we can keep doing this in person, even if it is for a virtual audience. So thank you guys very much for all your efforts on that front. So next up, also giving Brice a minute to change instruments. I wanted to be able to feature each one of the guest artists with the big band individually, so we have plenty of time for the student musicians to play with the guest artists, as well as the guest artists to play together. And so Brice's suggestion is a great ballad that I've always loved, and I guess as a bass player I have to be partial to Charles Mingus, but this is Mingus's Goodbye Pork Pie Hat. Brice Winston, Jason Howard. Next, we're going to invite Rob Moore back to the stage. In our conversations preparing the music for this weekend and for tonight's concert, wanted to feature some requests or suggestions from all of our guest artists. And this is actually a great tune, a great arrangement of a Wayne Shorter tune that Rob brought to the table. And I think we share a special place in our hearts for Wayne Shorter and his music over the years. And this is actually a great arrangement that allows us to feature the drums and to feature Rob, as well as our tenor saxophonist, our lead tenor, Sarah Baker. So this is Wayne Shorter's Speak No Evil, arranged by Mike Tomorrow. One, two, one, two, oh. Rob Moore, Sarah Baker. Kai Natsaway. Sorry, Kai. So while we're taking a minute to get the piano and keyboard wiped down, swap out some of our rhythm section, and welcome Russ Schmidt back to the stage, I also want to take a minute to introduce the band. And so, just so I'm looking at the right people and putting the right faces to the names, starting with saxophones over on this side of the stage, let's hear it for Chris Hover on Barry sax, Michael Hodges on tenor 2, Sarah Gonzalez on lead alto, Richie Young on second alto, Sarah Baker on lead tenor, Blake Downs on bass trombone, Athena Blue, it looks like a French horn, but she's in the trombone section, but she's doing a great job, and thanks for being here. Let's hear it for Athena Blue in the trombone section. Michael Thompson, lead trombone. Blake Duty on second trombone. On this side of the trumpet section, we have Sophie Holder, Dylan Krell, Ricky Beswick, and Nathan Bastidas. Back in the rhythm section, we've got a constantly rotating cast. But let's say hello to Steve Quintana on the drums, Jason Howard on the bass. Special shout out to Noah Ide, our usual guitar player, who is sadly missing with us this week, though I hear he's on the mend and will be back with us next week. So let's give a round of applause for him, but with all his efforts throughout the year, and welcome him back soon. Our usual pianist will be joining us here in a minute, but let's say hello to Kai Natsaway. And we'll hear more from a special guest joining us from some of the other ensembles in the Jazz Studies program, Noah Chesterman on the vibes on this one. So this is a great tune by the trumpet player Kenny Wheeler, and it was reorchestrated by Russ Schmidt, and it's just a beautiful ballad of sorts. And we're going to feature Nathan Bastidas on the trumpet, and of course, Russ Schmidt on the piano. Kenny Wheeler's Consolation. Right on it. 1, 2, 1, 2, and... Russ Schmidt, piano and arrangement. Jason Howard on the bass. Nathan Macedas on the trumpet. It's also here for Noah Chesterman joining us on vibes. And we're going to keep Noah up here and invite our other two great guest artists. I just want to say a big thank you to these guys for coming up this week to spend a few days with us here. I think it was a great opportunity for us to kind of get out of our new normal of sorts this year and get a chance to play some music together and work with the students. But I know it's also taking time away from lots of other commitments and all that. And I just want to say, on behalf of the band and all the students here, thank you to Russ, Brice, and Rob for spending this year's festival with us and being our featured guest artists. It really means a lot. One more special thank you to Santi Hindes, who helped coordinate a lot of the business behind the scenes to make this year's festival happen, and all of the School of Music faculty and administration who pitched in to present faculty and master classes and just make the whole festival come off. And one last thank you to John and Lynn Sheik of Flagstaff for supporting this year's festival. It means a lot to us here, as well as so many students throughout the state and members of the community who are able to tune in for our virtual performances. And we're gonna feature one more tune with the whole band. We got everybody back on stage. Kai Natsaway, little did you know, he's not only a pianist, he's a percussion major. And so he's joining us on percussion in the back. Steve Quintana on congas, Noah Chesterman on vibes, and the whole band. This is Joe Lovano's Viva Caruso.
Thank you.